Hello everyone, my name is JishnuKRamakrishnan, a third year undergraduate student contesting for the post of General Secretary of Cultural Affairs. Culturals has been a part of my life since my freshman year, working as the cultural counselor of Hostel 16, being a convener and mentor, and finally the Institute Music Secretary in this tenure. I owe everything I am to culturals, and I've made some amazing friendships and memories to cherish for a lifetime. I envision to provide the same to everyone in the Institute, in particular to those who have missed out on their first year in college. If elected, I will steer culturals in the pursuit of excellence, efficiency, human experiences, and professionalism. I have initiatives like Athena Plus, Practice Spot, and so on to accomplish the same. I envision an open and inclusive culturals, and if elected, I will work tirelessly to achieve this goal. All right. So I'll start off by explaining why I think Athena Plus is necessary. First and foremost, even though cultures has always aspired to be as open as possible, we've always had a gap in between people who want to learn and what we can provide, especially in the later years. If you're a freshie, you can start off, but later on it becomes difficult. So, and the clubs don't always have the kind of resources to cater to them because there's a limited amount of time and energy in one tenure. Now, that is a major reason I wanted to move forward with it. On the second part of the question is what exactly it is. It's an e-learning platform. I'll quickly explain what all it will have. It will have videos that we created ourselves. It will have structured YouTube playlists. It will have a discussion forum for community building and doubt clearing. It will have contacts of seniors who volunteered to help them out if they reach out personally. And finally, if you complete the courses, it will have short assignments and quizzes. And if you finally complete the course, you get a certificate from it. So that's the general idea. In my current tenure, I've started a pilot project on it from music side, and we've completed everything. So, come to the question where exactly the content will be sourced from. Like I said, the two parts to the content. One is videos that we create ourselves, and second, the videos that we source from YouTube. The videos that we create ourselves, there are two ways to do it. One in the summers through seniors, sophomores, and the club members, and that will be one of it will be a part of ICSP, and the second on a more advanced level that will be taken up by the clubs themselves. And the second part is in a collaboration with NSS. I have talked to the NSS heads to create a system where we select NSS education volunteers next year who can contribute to this project, and in exchange we'll be giving the material to NSS as well, through which we'll be reaching out to NGOs and so forth to provide the material to them. So the cultural genres that I'm going to target to this is music, Vani, literati, dance, film, photography, and roots to a certain extent. I'd like to clarify on what exactly EBSB festival is. It is one Indian festival. So to start off, I'll tell you what EBSB is for context. EBSB is an initiative by the MHRD, which has a separate funding and separate body, separate entity, to say that deals with it. And we as culturals, the duty of conducting EBSB events has fallen on culturals. Now it is just one day event. It's not a large scale thing. And to answer your first, to start off, to answer your first question, a lot of the festivals are conducted by hostels. Yes, that is true, and that is very important for the hostel culture. However, that one feedback I got from a lot of seniors was that ICC is supposed to be not just events that are like just performance showcases and so on. We are supposed to leverage the cultural diversity of India to move forward and bring everyone together. So that is a major reason I wanted to move. I put this initiative in, and how to deal with the logistics of it all, the funding is not really a problem. On the scale of logistics, again, we need more pan ICC events, in my opinion, which, because there is a lack of identity at ICC itself rather than just clubs. And to ensure the logistics, we'll be having extensive planning. But at the end of the day, it's just a one-day event that is very similar to a lot in terms of logistics to a lot of the things that we do. So it will not be a problem. All right. So exactly how many people will be there for that particular orientation is kind of unknown right now. There is a possibility that both freshers and sophomores of the next tenure will be very interested in joining up. So we'll have an increased number of people. LTPCC cannot handle two batches of people. Even if it did, even if there's only one batch in the campus at that point of time, in the COVID times, we'll have to follow COVID protocols of social distancing, and LTPCC cannot have that. That's the reason we'll have to shift it to convocation hall, and this is the manner in which I'll convince the authorities. Yes, so in my groundwork with the sophomores, what I've felt is that though they've seen what the clubs are, they're not quite experienced the grandeur of it. And they're very excited to see what exactly these things will be about. I've done numerous groundwork with freshers, I've had discussion sessions with them on how exactly to go about it, and they're very enthusiastic about having another orientation. What they are trying to see is not just a club's introduction, but more on what exactly the club represents. Okay, so one of the primary motives such an open mic I think should be pursued is three genres: performance poetry, storytelling in different languages, and stand-up comedy. Now, these genres in general have extremely low avenues for performance in the institute. So that is and stand-up comedy is such a genre that you need an audience, you need a crowd to be able to even practice your craft. So that's a major reason I started this. Now, how to ensure that audience attendance will be there? What I'm trying to do would be to create a consistent monthly event that caters to that becomes ingrained in the psyche of the people, that is going to happen at something consistent, something that they can look forward to, and it will be conducted in the SAC parking lot. So that's a very high traffic event, and when it's done, it will be done at the peak time. That's like 7 to 8 or 8 to 8, 7:30 to 8:30 time, whereas there's a high traffic of people passing by that area. Now we'll be having quality checks in the first editions of these things, so that we build up a very good quality and that kind of a mindset, of course, along with the publicity, so that there are actually audience coming in, and in later stages, we'll start mixing the kind of participants to involve more and more people. All right. So I'll explain what the point itself is. Now that when you look at culturals, and if you look at the way it's performed and implemented in like foreign countries, for example, a lot of tech elements that come to it, and that is something that's been explored on very minor levels here and there by the culturals barely. Now, the how the project exactly would work, it would work in an ITSP format in collaboration with the Ensure Technical ITC, and the process is very similar. What cultures will provide from our end is a mentor to look at the applications of it, to see how exactly it will be useful to cultural activities, and the tech side will provide the technical expertise. Asking whether the cultural side will be watered down or not, at the end of the day, it's a tech project that has implications in culture. So that's the middle of a Venn diagram, that those kind of people who take it up are both involved in culturals and technical affairs. So does it get watered down? I genuinely don't think so, because it will have a lot of applications in cultures itself. Going on to what are the kind of projects? I can give you examples of a theremin, which is a musical instrument that you sound in electromagnetic waves. You keep your hand on top of it to stop it, and that's how you create the sounds. Creation of DAWs, for example, or like modification of sound waves to create specific tonalities. Creation of holographic projections. These are the kind of projects that we'll be looking at, and also in terms of music instruments, pickups, coils, so that we can be kind of self-sufficient in our own repairs and things like that. All right. The current status of cultural internships is that it has been only so far implemented by one club in my tenure in the music club, and we had very good response for it. Uh, the second part of the question, will students, how do I plan on expanding it? The way I see it, the way I went about it was to leverage alumni contacts. And this year it was not quite taken up by many other clubs. So alumni contacts are the first thing I did. You have to go through the past contacts, and we have a lot of seniors working in the industry. And then you start reaching out to different studios and inquiring about it. Now, what happens in this process is the creation of a relationship and a reputation of the club itself. And this is what is really important. Once we have a reputation, these kind of internships and opportunities keep coming on their own. Now the question of whether students will be willing to take it up. So in my tenure, the one that we did, it had excellent response from people, even though it was an online semester and there was a lot of difficulties in that sense. So I genuinely do think that people will be willing to take it up, though it might not add value to their technical resume. But then a lot of students in the institute are going to non-technical resume, so that is definitely there. Okay. Uh, So the purpose of Indie Diaries is twofold. One, for ITBPC to have a good relation with MI in terms of coverage and having access to different events at all times. And second, for the YouTube page itself, because indeed artists are in general high growth potential artists. I'll give you an example. When Pratik Kuhad came to IIT Bombay for the first time, he was not a big artist. Now he is. So having videos, or another example, Ranjan Raj, when the interview with him was taken, he was not a big star, but later on he really blew up. So those are the kind of artists that we're looking at. We won't be contacting them from culture specifically. That will be done by MI, and we'll be doing a kind of documentary with them so that we have access to the entire MI, and also have good content for the page. I think the students would really enjoy watching things like this, because there is a very important population in the institute who are into independent music or independent art forms, and that is something that as an institute, as Indians, we should be encouraging, because that's a fledgling area that has huge implications for the future of entertainment in India. First of all, I like to make a factual correction. Students from NCO coming to the clubs has been a huge problem that we've not tackled so far. More or less, the students who sign up for NCO end with NCO and never come to the clubs. Second part being the increase in workload. It's not exactly a workload. All they have to do is show up to the event, any two events in one semester, and that is not a workload. It can be as small as a workshop, or it can be as big as a flagship. It really doesn't matter. Now, what I really envision to do is not for them to come to the club and learn something from there. That is not what I'm trying to do here. The people coming to the club really depends on the friendships that they form at that point of time. For some reason, they not come to the club in the beginning, sure, but they signed up for NCO. Now, when they come to the club and start interacting with the people, there's a higher chance of them being funneled to the respective clubs, which was one of the primary motives behind NCO itself. In my years working with culturals, I have been able to understand it on a deeper level. I am lucky enough to have been provided the opportunities to hone my interpersonal skills, and I have formed lasting relationships with the members of the community. I promise to give back all I have to the family that raised me from a timid fresher to the confident person I am today. I request you all to vote for me on the coming election day, Jishnu, for the post of General Secretary of Cultural Affairs. Thank you.